venture, the motel declared profits for the very first time in 15 years. So that is a positive variance there. And then other receipts, we had a positive variance of 2,275 kwacha. So under locally collected or generated funds, we had about 9,369,000. And then from the national support, the variance on the low government equalization fund was 1,049,819 kwacha. The remarks are that December low government equalization fund grant that was not yet received as at 1st December 2022 accounted for this variance. And then on the constituency development fund, there was a variance of 3,512,000.
TC, in fact, those two items were not supposed to be included.
Okay.
9 and 10, because we looked at those
under
CDF.
Okay, please. Thank you very much, Chair. On other grants, there was a positive variance of 51,910. We received a grant from the Minister of Finance under that item. Action taken, so the total variance there is coming to 13,510,999. Action taken, Council wishes to report that the action is as shown in the table below. On local taxes, the Council has entered into payment plans with members of the public to allow flexibility to pay property rates in installments. Further, the Council has engaged bailiffs to enforce the correction of property rates from defaulters, and Council has since collected 1,462,088 kwacha from late payers in the year 2023. Under fees and charges, the land was procured in November 2022, and the Council has since offered plots to members of the public, and the Council has collected the sum of 3,300,000 and 170 kwacha from offer of land in the year 2023. And then on licenses, there is a positive variance there. This positive variance has been scored due to the ongoing digitization program that we have actually put in place. And then the permits, the Council has intensified sensitization through public announcements, radio, television and online media platforms on the importance of paying the various fees due to the Council. The Council has also engaged Zambia to provide bulk SMS, which are being used to send bills and reminders to clients. This has enhanced efficiency in the revenue collection. Because of this initiative, the Council was awarded first prize in revenue innovation at the 2023 Local Government Association of Zambia Annual General Meeting.
Got you. TC, you can just go to the remedial, because members have gone through the table.
The major measures, the Council will ensure that budget performance review is conducted regularly, and where necessary, a budget adjustment is prepared for each financial year. The Council has put in place a budget tracking module in the Local Government Integrated Information System to help in the monitoring of budget performance. Appendix 3, failure to collect revenue of 26,720 was the query. Reason for the query: the non-correction of the outstanding rentals was due to low compliance levels from the tenants. Action taken: the Council has since collected a total of 26,720 after eviction of the tenants, and legal action taken to recover the outstanding amounts. See Appendix 3 attached here too. Remedial measures: the Council will ensure that the outstanding receivables are promptly corrected from all clients. Further, Council has established a system that is able to track all unpaid amounts and send reminders through SMS messages. This system is helping Council to identify delinquent accounts and help the council to collect all funds as they fall due. Appendix 15, failure to fill vacant positions. Reason for the query: the council wishes to report that key vacant positions were not filled at the time of audit, as the staff matters were still being considered by the Law Government Service Commission after council had made submissions. Action taken: the council wishes to report that most of the key positions have been filled, and I wish to report here that more than 80 positions have been filled. Remedial measures: the council will ensure that vacant positions are reported to the Law Government Service Commission as and when they occur. Appendix 9, failure to secure properties with title deeds. Reason for the query: the council acknowledges the auditor's observation that the 15 properties cited in the report do not have title deeds. 7 of the council properties which are situated at Feni are still on traditional land. The other 8 properties have no certificates of titles, as the process is in progress. Action taken: the council wishes to report that efforts have continued to have the remaining 15 properties secured with title deeds. To this effect, the council wishes to inform that the committee that we have carried out the following. On number 1, stand number 877, offer letter and survey diagram for the property has been obtained, and these have been submitted to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources for processing of certificate of title. And the current status
is... skip the table as well.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Remedial measures: we wish to report that the council will ensure that all properties are secured with title deeds. Appendix 22, failure to maintain council properties. Reason for the query: the council acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to report that the 2 properties at Chipata Motel could not be renovated due to financial constraints. However, the council resolved that the maintenance works be carried out in 3 phases as follows. Phase 1 consisted of 12 rooms. Phase 2 consisting of rehabilitation of 24 rooms and the laundry room. Phase 3 comprising conference room and the manager's house. The 4 properties which are dilapidated staff houses along Hospital Road, the council resolved to demolish them because they are deemed to be beyond rehabilitation. Action taken: the rehabilitation of the motel is being done in a phased approach due to financial challenges. The first phase, consisting of 12 rooms, has since been completed. The second phase is in the approved 2024 budget, covering rehabilitation of 24 rooms and the laundry room. Phase 2 is at procurement stage. Further, the council, during its ordinary council meeting via minute number OC/18/06/22, resolved and approved the demolition of the 4 staff houses along Hospital and Molozi roads. And to this effect, council has written to the Ministry of Law Government and Rural Development for authority to demolish the said structures. See attached supporting documents at Appendix 6. Other than remedial measures, the council will ensure that maintenance of all council properties is carried out consistently according to council's property maintenance program that has been put in place. Appendix 32, failure to settle outstanding statutory obligations. Reason for the query: the council acknowledges the auditor's observations. The council failed to settle the outstanding statutory obligations due to financial challenges. Action taken: the council wishes to report that it has since paid amounts totaling to 1,932,098 kwacha 79 ingwe to various statutory bodies as follows. ZRIA, we've paid 67,604 kwacha 8 ingwe. NAPSA, we've paid 444,067 kwacha 79 ingwe. LASIF 1,201,118 kwacha 49 ingwe, and NIMA we paid 219,000 228 Kwacha for Tringwe. Further, the council has started carrying out activities to improve on the financial distress and financial capacity by updating the evaluation law, improving client database, and intensifying its revenue collection by digitalizing revenue collection processes, sensitizing the community through public address system, local radios, local television station, and social media. Remedial measures: the council will ensure that it pays statutory obligations as and when funds are available. I beg to submit, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Simumba. Honorable Nyambosa Mutero.
Chair, thank you very much, and want to appreciate you for that submission. I'll take you to starting from page 3 and 4, income and expenditure. My interest, Chair, is on page 4, especially on licenses, commercial ventures, and the other receipts. Chair, the council budgeted that they are going to raise 7,800 for levies, and I can see that they never raised anything, and the reason they are giving is zero response from clients. The other concern, Chair, is on the commercial ventures. They never budgeted for it, and they have now realized that 23,922 was raised. The question that I would want the clarity, Chair, is why didn't you budget for commercial ventures? Does it mean where you raised this 23,922, by the time we are budgeting, you didn't have this facility? And if you had, why didn't you budget for it? On the other receipts, what I was expecting, Chair, was the council to put a narration. What do you mean when you just say other receipts and you received the money? We want to know where did this money come from. The narration should be given to this committee that no, this is what happened. On the levy, we want to know, Chair, surely even if there was a low response, why didn't you realize anything? And what action have you taken for the council to make sure that this low response has to be, sorted out? Chair, I submit with those few.
Thank you. Seemingly there are two. It's on the same? Yes. Okay, Honorable Nyambosa, then Honorable Mutero.
Thank you very much, Chair, and apologies that I joined late after introductions. Town Clerk, my name is Mishek Mtetwa Nyambose, representing the special people of Chasefu constituency in your province. Welcome. Chair, I heard and I took note the Town Clerk saying that in 15 years the commercial ventures is the first time they have made the profit. In the last 15 years I've been making losses. I want to find out from Town Clerk, just as Honorable Simumba, would you attribute this to hard work when you didn't budget for anything? You fail to budget, then you collect and you call that's a profit in 15 years. That's the first one, Chair. Attachments on Appendix 2. Warrants of distress and the payment plans entered with the clients indicate that there is one client who owed the council 1.2 2 or 1.3 million, let me be specific. 1,841,000. Is it 1 million? Chair, according to this commitment letter, outstanding arrears, it is written 1,841, 25 kwacha. But when you look at the agreed installments, it's more than 1,000, because they have agreed to liquidate this debt in 3 installments. The first installment, 613 kwacha, 75 ngwe. The other one 600. When you add the 3 figures, they are beyond 1,800. It's the same, eh? Or it's coming to the same. Now, when you look at this payment plan and you relate it to the outstanding on rates only, the variance, the negative variance, Chair, is 1,462,088 kwacha. Just on rates. Now they have to waste stationery on 1,000 kwacha, writing a ratepayer, failing to correct 1,000 kwacha, stationery, and what they've done to this is coming to nothing. When you look at the other attachments, is a warrant of distress. This payment plan, Chair, for your own information, it was only signed in 2024, January. And we are looking at the year 2022. The other one is a warrant of distress. There are only two, if not 3. Yeah, there are 3. 2. Then the warrants are also 2. Amounts only less than 1,000. You take someone to court. The question is, are these business ventures or they are ordinary ratepayers, residential ratepayers that you have taken to court? If not, if yes, have the business community in Chipata all cleared their rates and outstanding debt to the council? I'm aware that you are in 1 month arrear. Chair, I've said all this. It's historical. If the council is failing to collect 13 million, Chipata council, then it is gone. It's a city council now. They're failing to collect. What measures have they put in place, just like my friend? But my interest is when he said they have made the profit for the first time in 15 years. Maybe he can go through those questions for the first.
Town clerk, anyway, it's exciting to hear that for now, Chipata has started posting positives. Wherever it's coming from, because from where we are coming from with Chipata, indeed, it's the first time to hear positive. Anyway, TC, those questions, it's quite a number.
Thank you very much, Chair. First and foremost, I wish to report that we are not in any arrear. We are up to date. We have paid all the salaries up to month of March. Now, maybe I can start with the concerns that have come from Honorable Nyambosi. First is the statement I made that in 15 years' time, the council has actually been making losses.
TC, I want you to just concentrate on the, yes, you can make a comment on them, but just respond to the queries that substantively. He was just getting surprised that from what we know about Chipata, to us it's a relief to hear that Chipata now is getting on the positive part of life. Please concentrate on on the actual questions that the honorable members have put across and the measures that we are putting, to enhance the revenue collection.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for that guidance. On the client who owed the council 1,840 kwacha 25 ingwe, the query was that the bill is actually beyond this. The agreement that we signed is beyond this amount. Sorry? Oh, okay. Okay. Then on taking the delinquent clients to court who are owing the council about 1,000 kwacha and below, I wish to state that there is no amount which is actually little. As long as someone has failed to clear the outstanding bills, and we resolve as a council.
You can be assisted on that one by your legal officer. She's here, isn't it? Yeah. She can allay the fears from the members why taking someone to court. Madam Legal Officer.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. With respect to the question from the Honorable Member, the court is usually a court of last resort. So like my principal officer has already alluded to, where money is concerned, there is no money that is big or no money that is small. What actually determines on whether we are going to take someone to court is based on their willingness to offset their debts. So usually when we take people to court, it's not that we haven't engaged them. We actually have got processes before we take them to court. We actually write letter of demands. We engage them to have a payment plan. But if we see that the person is not obliging for several months, we are then mandated to take them to court for fear that the money will accumulate to such a figure that they cannot actually liquidate. So therefore, when we take an action to court, it doesn't mean that we haven't given a listening ear to the clients. We usually engage them. But those clients that prove to be problematic, despite making undertakings that they're going to pay, we actually take them to court because that becomes our court of last resort. Sorry, our avenue of last resort. I wish to submit, Chair.
Council, thank you very much for that legal term. The court is the place of last resort.
Chair, let me clarify my point. Yes, are you confirming, Chair? Are you confirming that Chipata, all the business people, those are the only people who owe you 1,000? Others have cleared their bills because the people of Chipata are watching and listening. You do not have business ventures that are appearing on your valuation roll that have got huge sums still outstanding, and you have not taken them to court. You have taken the people to court. I know, I've worked in the same department. Even 1 kwacha is due to the council. You have taken this person who owes you 1,000 kwacha. The process is an expense on your part. I know there could be so many, so you take them as a batch. Confirm to this country and this committee that you are not owed any monies by these big ratepayers, but you have neglected to take them to court. You have taken the ordinary citizen who owes you 1,000 kwacha to court, the ordinary retiree. That's what I wanted from you.
Without defending the legal officer, our council, I think the response is that amongst the many that owes the local authority, their engagements. So it could be, I will still allow you to respond, council. It could be that this one, they have failed to reconcile behind or their engagements. So please, your clarification, council.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair, and thank you. I cannot state that we are not owed by other people. We are owed by a lot of people, but however, as I rightfully pointed out, what determines who we are going to take to court is based on those whereby we have engaged them and they're not willing to pay. We've had instances whereby there are people who owe the council huge sums of money, but when we engage them and we enter into a payment plan, they actually honor up, paying based on the amounts that they've agreed upon and based on the dates that they have actually indicated. But we also have other citizens whereby when we engage them, they'll put up a payment plan, but you keep on making follow-ups. They kind of like shun away from actually complying with their obligations. So those clients, or should I say those citizens who seem to be very problematic, are the ones we actually resolve to take to court so that we can recover the monies before it escalates to a huge bill which we can fail to actually recover. But saying that we do not have other citizens who owe us would be a lie. We do have, but most of them have been complying. We only take to court those who are being adamant and difficult to recover from. I submit, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Cheers. The other observations?
Maybe
If
just,
you may finish.
yeah, just to add on.
I should think that has been done. Let's
Okay.
answer the other concerns.
Okay, the other concerns, Honorable Chair, were that we did not budget for the commercial venture. Why? Yes, we budgeted for refurbishment, rehabilitation, and a few other items that were supposed to be procured. But because of previous experiences where we had actually been making losses, we did not actually factor in the profit profit thing there. We concentrated on the rehabilitation. Now, when we actually rehabilitated the motel, it actually brought in more revenue. Even as we are rehabilitating, even now, it is actually bringing more revenue. And this is the 24,000 that actually came in as profit.
On the same. Okay, Honorable Nyambose. Honorable Nyambose.
Yes. I want the town clerk to confirm. Chair, we are on record. We are looking at the year 2022. This is the report where you didn't budget for the commercial venture. You said you have made the profit. What do you mean by profit from a commercial venture such as the motel and other ventures when you did not budget for it? And these renovations that are giving you monies now, when did you do these renovations and you started earning those profits you are talking about? Because what I know, Chair, lastly, is that you budget to say, I will do this, you factor in the costs and the profit margin, then you gain. That's the profit you talk about. So in 15 years, they have recorded huge profits now of 24,000. In 2022, was this the year that you completed your rehabilitations and you got this 24,000 out of the rehabilitations that you completed? Or the rehabilitations have been done in 2023 or 2024 now? And say about the 15 years that they have not been making profit when you didn't budget for it. The last one, Chair, is how can a council budget to collect money? Levies, they budgeted to collect 7,800 and they collect nothing. At which point did you realize that you were underperforming on this particular vote? If you really do the monthly or quarterly reviews of your budget, and if you did your reviews, at which point did it trigger that on this vote you are going to collect nothing? And what actions did you make that are on record and can be referred to? Chair, I submit.
Thank you.
It is on the same, Chair. Your comment on levies is more or less the same with the one on local taxes, local response from clients. Number one, despite local response, you realize something. Levies, and which levies are these? Where are they coming from? where are they supposed to be coming from? And the same response, low response, it is 0. So we want, if you may help your committee to put these two things together. Lances, you have a positive there, but no narration, it's quiet. You have just put figures, you want your committee just to believe you just like that. At least on the commercial, you indicated, say, now we've made for the first time. Where you budgeted and you have a positive variance, you are quiet. Are those figures just slotted there for your committee? Why are you quiet even where you've made a gain?
Okay. Town Clerk.
Thank you very much, Chair. The budget for renovation of the Chipata Motel was actually done in 2021, implemented in 2022. And when I actually went to Chipata, the council was actually in a very bad shape, in a very bad state of affairs. And so we started renovating the Chipata Motel in 2022.
You are confusing us. You are saying, sorry Chair, through you. You are saying 2021, then to 2022, okay. Renovation.
Yes.
Then you go there, then you start again renovations.
No, let me put it this way.
Okay.
The budget is actually prepared, say in this case was prepared in 2021, November, December. And then we submitted the budget for 2022. And then we submitted to the Minister of Law Government for approval. And so it was approved in 2022. And in 2022, we commenced rehabilitation works at the Chipata Motel. And before the end of the year, we had actually completed the first 12 rooms. And also, we had started putting in a bit of some money to replenish the stocks and so forth. And in 2023, they have also done very, very well. We have also scored a profit. That one was actually budgeted for. So this is what I'm trying to explain. The budgeting was done in 2022, and we implemented in 2022. 2021, that was the beginning of the formulation of the budget, which was implemented in 2022. And the query is under 2022.
Yes. Honorable Smumba.
Yeah, Chair. Appreciating what that is submitting, I think this committee would want to know if they factored in the time frame when they were rehabilitating, because since they budgeted for that rehabilitation of this motel for 2022, I'm sure they knew at what point they are going to finish. So the question remains unanswered, why they didn't budget for that venture when they knew, Chair, that they are going to rehabilitate, and they gave themselves the time frame of finishing, and only to come and give us that there is a profit that was not budgeted for. Because this committee, Chair, cannot know how much was collected if they never budgeted for it. So what time frame did you give yourself as a council that you are going to finalize with the rehabilitation of this motel since you budgeted for it? Chair, submit.
Town Clerk.
Thank you very much, Chair. The time frame that we gave ourselves was actually 3 years, like we have explained in our submission. We had to undertake a phased approach to the rehabilitation of the motel due to financial constraints. So the first one was actually the rehabilitation of the 12 rooms. That has been done. And the second one is actually rehabilitation of 24 rooms and the laundry, which is at procurement stage. And this is what we have actually indicated here. And next year, that is when now we'll actually finish rehabilitating the entire Chipata Motel. So it is 3 years.
Honorable Shakafuswa, and then Mwanza.
Chair, I wish to take you to page 2.
Chair, they haven't answered the other receipts. This money, the narration, there is no narration.
Town clerk, on the other receipts, able to make a comment here.
Maybe we can start with the licenses, where we have actually a positive of 996,000 kwacha, 996,803 kwacha. I think it was just an oversight not to have indicated some remarks there. This has actually been achieved due to the digitization that we have actually put in place, where we actually captured almost everyone in the district. We had actually estimated that we'll capture a certain number, but because of the measures that we put in place to ensure that we capture that, we ended up capturing even others that were not within the plan. And that is why we actually got the that positive variance. And when we come to the levies, the 7,800, this is actually ZESCO per levy. We have about 25,000 poles at 30 ngwe per pole. The 30 ngwe. Yeah. For 26,000 kwacha. So that gave us that amount of money. We had billed ZESCO, and ZESCO has not yet paid, but because we are owing each other, we had actually engaged ZESCO so that we could actually do a debt swap, and this is part of the arrangement.
Through you, Chair. But you are saying this is due to law response from the client. Now you are telling us, of course, we are now in talking terms. So what must we take? Law response, or you are in talking terms, even in debt swap?
Yes, Chair, I think...
why didn't you put it like that? All you have indicated to your committee is law response. Now you've come out. Law response from ZESCO. They owe you, you owe them. And you should have just come out clearly to say we owe them, they owe us, all we need to do is debt swap. Why didn't you say that? Put it here.
Chair, it is an oversight on our part. We are sorry for that.
Thank you very much.
And we have this to say, now when we ask for clarification, it's an oversight.
Dr. Mwanza? Oh yes, I'm sorry. Honorable Shakafuswa, on page 2.
Yes, Chair. On page 2, underutilized market shelter and 20 council shops, where out of 60, only 40 out of 60 stands, 46 are occupied, and out of 20 shops, only 5 are occupied. Town Clerk, I understand you are doing some works, having highlighted the reasons why this facility is vacant. I wanted to find out, where have you taken the traders while you are doing these works, and which vote are you using to rehabilitate this market shelter, and what is the time frame? Who is doing the works? Is it the City Council, or you have outsourced? I thank you, Chair.
Town Clerk, on the same. Just hold on, Town Clerk. Yes, Honorable Mwanza.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. On the same, this Kapata market, you've talked about the flaws in the design, that it was not, it did not suit the marketeers. That's the reason why they are trading outside. And the measures which you have taken so far is to do some refurbishment. I've looked at your bill of quantity on Appendix 1. The bill of quantity on Appendix 1 is describing the works that you are undertaking to this Kapata market as at now, which the total cost is 322,541. Looking at the description of the works in the BOQ does not match with what you intend to do in some of the items, such as roofing. You are talking of removing some iron sheets, and you need to replace with translucent roofing materials for lighting. I want to seek clarification. Where is this item in the BOQ? And also, going back to just the same question that Honorable Sakafusha has asked, who is doing these works? The contractor, or and where is the contract? What is the time frame for these rehabilitation works? Thank you.
Thank you. Town Clerk.
The traders have not been taken anywhere because they're actually moved out on their own. Some are actually selling from Kapata market, others are selling from outside the market, the structure. There are only about 5 who are currently running shops inside the market. This is actually a ZAMSIF plan, which was built some time back. So it has actually some shops or stalls inside the market. So there are about 5 who are actually renting. So the whole thing, the whole market is actually empty of marketeers. So they actually moved out, like we have explained.
Just on that, Town Clerk, now that our people are used to be outside, from your interaction with your people or with our people, is it your feeling that once the rehabilitation is done, people easily move in, or there still be some resistance to wanting to trade on the street?
We've actually had several meetings with the market committee members, executive committee members, and they actually took us around the structure and pointed out the flaws where we have to make adjustments, and that once that is actually done, the members who were there will actually go back. And in fact, right now, after seeing that we are opening up the shops from outside, there is an increased number of application of people trying to apply to go in. So I think that is a good gesture that everyone will go there. And we have actually agreed with them that that is what is going to happen. Now, who is doing the works? We are actually doing the works ourselves as a council. As and when money is made available, we go and work there. Which money is being used? The money that is being used is actually from our local corrections. The translucent iron sheets are not indicated in the BOQ. Maybe I would ask my colleague, Director Engineering, to shed more light on that one.
Director Engineering.
Thank you, Chair. It's true, in our planning, we had planned to put the translucent roofing sheets, but then we realized that we can actually do better, because in the night, we wanted to prolong the number of hours. So what we opted to put in the bill was that of the fluorescent fittings, so that work can the selling or trading can continue up to late in the evenings. So we opted to put fluorescent fittings instead of the translucent, because one of the concerns was that of ventilation. So we were able to see that the ventilation is adequate, but the facility or the structure did actually not have lighting. There's nothing there, so we have incorporated that in the bill.
Honorable Singombe.
In your action taken on page 2, the last sentence, furthermore, in order to increase natural lighting, the council has removed some iron sheets and replaced them with translucent roofing materials. How do you explain that?
Chair,
Maybe I can come in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Through the chair. That's what you've again indicated to your committee. Thank you, you gave the rightful officer. Have you heard what your officer has said? Is it adding? Is it correlating with what you've written? What you have told us is you have removed. So after removing the iron sheets, now what have you put? Give the mic back to your officer. Sir, what have you put now? Your mic, sir. You've told us you've put what?
So
what have you put according to what you've just been telling us?
In the bill of quantity?
No, the actual works according to you.
The actual translucent roofing sheets.
That's what you've put.
They are actually existing on the facility. They're actually there.
So don't be
Yes.
twisting. We read and we hear.
Yes.
I just wanted to hear it from you. No wonder now the principal is saying, let me take it on. May we listen from you, sir?
Thank you very much. This has actually been done. I think my colleague here has the pictures, or we can send people to go and verify. The translucent iron sheets have actually been put there. But what had happened after we did that, there was an advice that came from the engineering department, in which we were advised that we need to also add the
Fluorescent tubes.
Yes, fluorescent tubes. Yes.
Thank
But
you.
that
So-
was after we had already written
So
this.
that was an addition. Just
An addition,
to-
yes.
Like he's putting it to increase the trading hours.
Yes.
Honorable
yes.
Singombe. Then Honorable Singombe.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm Singombe from Lundazi. Thank you for stepping in late. TC, you have indicated that out of the 20 shops, there are only 5 that are currently existing. May I know how much revenue is coming from the 5, and how much revenue would you collect after all the 20 shops are rehabilitated?
Town Clerk.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think I can ask the Director of Finance to shed more light on that one.
Thank you, Chair. The revenue coming from the shops, because they are being rented at 500 kwacha per month. So for 5 shops, it translates to 2,500 kwacha per month. Thank you, Chair.
Yes. Yes.
So are you implying that even when you have rehabilitated, they will still remain at 5, hence you'll be collecting 100,000 per month?
Thank you, Chair. After the rehabilitations, I'm sure we will do some consultations and see if there will be need to increase the amount so that we get more revenue. Thank you.
Honorable Sumumba.
Chair,
Yes,
I'll take you to
we-
page 6. Failure to collect revenue. Chair, during the period under review, the council was expected to collect amounts totaling to 65,120 from rented out shops. But they just collected 38,400, leaving a balance of 26,720. Action taken. The council has since collected a total of 26,720, and they are telling us to go to Appendix 3. Chair, I want to take you to Appendix 3. Appendix 3, the second, maybe we start from page 34, 35. Appendix 3, Are you there, Chair?
34.
34. Appendix 3, 34. Page 34. And 35. Chair, this committee wants to appreciate these people who paid. I don't know if maybe the TC can read for us these receipts that have been attached, so that to appreciate the people who made the payment, because I'm struggling, Chair. If they were meant for us, starting from 34, 35, 36, 37, I think everything. So I don't know how we are going to interrogate this query when the evidence can't be seen. Chair, submit.
Director of Finance, do you have the ledger for these payments? Do you have the ledger other than these receipts? Because on the receipts they are not visible, but do you have a ledger?
Thank you, Chair. Unfortunately, we didn't attach the ledger, but the ledgers are there. They can be verified.
If you send somebody now outside to call, there is somebody at the office who can send that ledger on phone?
Yes, they can be sent.
Okay, because we basically want to replace those ledgers with these, because on the receipts we are unable to see, like, I think you can agree with the committee that they are unable to read on the receipts. No, I'm sure you can't read it either, isn't it?
Sure, Chair, not
so
clear.
The ledger should be able to answer the question from my honorable member here, that he wants to know if that Mavuto who owns that shop paid.
Okay.
So we'll need that. I will need that through Secretariat.
Oh, noted, Chair. We'll provide the information.
We need to respond to that. Honorable, not Nyambos.
Chair, thank you so much. Since he's Mishek, but I cannot be Nyambos.
As we wind up.
The same, now page 7, you have said this was due to low levels of compliance. This is more or less like coming so often. What's happening in Chipata? Where is this low levels of compliance coming from? Is it because our services to the public, to the clients, are not up to the standards? Or what? Where is this problem emanating from? And all of a sudden, we can see you have collected. Principal, you answer that, because sometimes when you give it to your officers, it will need you to come back. Where is this problem coming from? Low levels of compliance. Is it because the local authorities' services to the people are not up to standard, then people are saying, no, we can't pay.
Town Clerk?
Thank you very much, Chair. I think there are two major reasons for that kind of problem that I'd actually observed. One was that there were a lot of cartels among the workers, the revenue collectors, who were collecting money from these shops for their pockets. And almost every year, they will go around, collect the money, and fail to give them the licenses. Until we got a tip from some people. We formed a task force that went around, and this was actually brought to our attention, and we took action against some of those people. But the second reason is that some people are just very difficult to honor the payment of rentals. And you have to actually push them here and there. If you don't push them, then they will not come to pay. And this, some of them are actually part of that problem. But for now, all the directors here, we go into the field in turns. And this is actually not even coming out now. The revenue collectors go in the field, but we also go in the field at a later stage. We go in various directions to ensure that each shop, each building has actually paid the council what is due to the council.
Thank you very much.
So it is not the client. Though when you were pointing in their pockets, you were pointing at your pocket. You should have pointed. Maybe again your officers would have accused you. Because you should not have, I'm failing to point at my pocket, sir. That's what the town clerk did. Now it has come out. It is not the client. It is the officers. The clients will pay. The money is not remitted for the services. It's not what we've been here, but what has come out. That's the reality, sir.
Town Clerk, we note that your report has those gaps, especially in terms of revenue collection, and I hope and believe that what you have put in place will help Chipata City Council to realize or to collect the revenues as and when it's due. I know that Chipata, we used to have queries where from Wami border, it used to take 3 months for somebody to come and deposit the money. And they say no transport challenges at times. Those were excuses from the old Chipata, and I believe this is a new Chipata City Council. We want you to work as a team. We want you to make sure that you correct every coin that is due to the local authority. And besides that, when it comes to the same corrections, you need to make sure that you widen. I know Chipata, there are a lot of streams where you can be collecting money, but there have been a lot of dishonest in the system. At some point, people used to go with their own receipt books, duplicated receipt books. And I know that one now is the thing of the past. We want you, DF, to avail us that information for the rentals. We want to see the names or the people that paid. Otherwise, for today, this is where we end from. We wish you well, and at this point, allow me to remove the immunity that was conferred on you at the beginning of our interaction, and wish you well as you go back. Thank you very much.
My e-Parliament mobile application. My e-Parliament is a mobile application developed by the National Assembly of Zambia in order to bring Parliament closer to you. You can download and install My e-Parliament from App Store or Play Store. Once installed, you can raise your concerns, provide your input, opinion and feedback on various projects or decisions being made in your constituency. On My e-Parliament mobile application, you can listen to Parliament Radio. You will have access to parliamentary documents such as bills and acts which are considered in Parliament. You will also have access to National Assembly social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. You can also watch parliamentary debates live on our YouTube channel. Download My e-Parliament now. My e-Parliament, bringing Parliament closer to you. My e-Parliament mobile application. First, download the app on either Play Store or App Store and install. After installation, open the app. Step 1. Register your personal information, that's your names, gender, NRC and date of birth. Step 2. Add your contact information, your email, phone number and home address. Step 3. Select your constituency. Step 4. Create your 4-digit PIN. At this point, the system will send an SMS to your mobile number with a one-time passcode. Step 5. Confirm with one-time passcode that was sent to your mobile. Step 6. Sign in using your phone number and the 4-digit PIN. And Step 7. Create your submission and submit. My e-Parliament, bringing Parliament closer to you.
Keep watching Parliament Television, a station that brings Parliament closer to you.
Katua constituency lies west of Lusaka and is the first entry into Central Province on the Great North Road. Katua derives its name from Gutuba, meaning white sand. The constituency is mostly rural, but experiencing rapid growth in real estate development and smallholder farms. There are also a few factories that have come up in the past few years. In order to bridge the gap between the area member of parliament and the constituents, a constituency office was established in 2009. Mr. Mwawashike Nkulukusa is Katua Member of Parliament, elected in 2021. He now runs through the members of parliament that have served before him.
I'm the number 8th member of parliament, the first one in the 70s when Katua was annexed from Kembe, because it used to be one constituency, which we call the first member of parliament for Katua is Mr. Laima, who is no more. He served up to around 1978, from about 1974-75, when the second member of parliament, Mrs. Muyunda Mavis, came in. She's the longest member of parliament to have served Katua until the Multi-Party for Democracy came in 1990-91, when Gilbert Mululu became the third member of parliament. And then we had Mr. Shakafuswa, Jonas Shakafuswa, who in 2001, when UPND was formed and contested the first time, it picked the seat under the UPND with Mr. Jonas Shakafuswa, who became the fourth member of parliament. And after Jonas came Mr. Chikusu, Dr. Chikusu, who became the fifth member of parliament. Served just for a while. Unfortunately, he died. And then, of course, in 2016 came a lady again, Patricia Mashingwere, who I'm sure you saw also serve just for a short period of time, didn't finish her term. She passed on. She was the 60th member of parliament. And then in 2019, when she passed on, Honorable Bampi Kapalasa took over to finish her term up to 2021.
The Katua lawmaker now gives a general overview of Katua constituency.
Katua is a peri-urban constituency, if you like. Of course, it's defined as a rural constituency, but because of the, before there used to be urban migration, people moving from rural to the urban areas, but we are experiencing rural migration, where people are moving so much from the urban areas into rural. And Katua has been one of those that has become one of the main targets by many people wanting to settle because of its proximity to Lusaka. It is mainly, the main activities in Katua is agriculture. It has always been an agricultural center, part of Central Province. It is surrounded by Kembe on the northern side, by Chisamba on the east. On the east there is Chisamba and the Chongwe, which also gets into Mandevu, and then we share also with Matero, Chilanga, Mwembeshi, Nangoma, and we go and share with Mumbwa. So we are somehow in between. It's quite wide in terms of the length, almost 130 kilometers in the length, and about 80 in some areas, about 50 kilometers in the width. So it's quite a vast constituency that now is experiencing two types of life: the peri-urban life on the eastern side and the typical rural life on the western side. Yeah.
Challenges faced by people in rural areas are quite similar, as Mr. Nkulukusa explains.
Any other rural constituency, we are usually within what many rural constituencies face, which are mainly 5 major challenges that are always targeted. Number 1 is the availability of schools. We have quite a number of primary schools, but we have very few secondary schools. This time at least we have about 1, 2. Now you can imagine for such a vast constituency to have only 1, 2 secondary schools, it's a big challenge. But also the infrastructure of these schools, more especially the primary schools. The infrastructure is quite dilapidated. Many of the students or the pupils are sitting on the floor. We have a huge challenge to ensure that we provide desks, we improve some of the infrastructure. Katua is a place where you will go to a school and you find that there is a house for a teacher that was built in 60s, cracked and all those things. So that has always been a challenge from the education sector. Shifangula Primary School, they are very lucky people. I'm sure if you should take a second visit, it's now one of the best schools that has worked, thanks to a church called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We partnered with them. That roof that was blown off was rehabilitated. They are now building 3 blocks of each block has 3 classrooms. They also completed one of the 1x3 classroom blocks that was started. So I can rest assure you, if you go to Shifangula now, they are one of the luck schools that we partnered with an NGO, a church, which came to help us. But there are many other schools that could be in the state of the way you found Shifangula before, that also require attention from us. The second is the health sector. First of all, Katua had never had a hospital, whether a mini hospital, a level 1 hospital. We've only had the health posts that are so distant from the communities, and so that is a challenge because people have to walk distances. We thank the government now that they gave me a hospital, a level 1 hospital, which is under construction now. We are hoping that it will finish very soon. It will be the first ever in Katua, despite the proximity of Katua being near to Lusaka. Apart from one trunk road which passes through Katua going to connect with Kembe, all other roads are almost impassable. They are very bad. And so some of them have even been abandoned because it's almost impossible to drive on those roads. So because of that, we have also targeted road infrastructure to be one of the issues to be addressed, so that at least people can access. You know, when you talk of road infrastructure, there are few streams in Katua, rivers and streams, and so you find that there are a lot of issues of bridges, collapsing of bridges. Pupils can't cross to go to school because this bridge has collapsed, and all that is falling under road infrastructure that we are trying to look, and one of the challenges that we are looking at. We have embarked on a project we are calling Electrify Katua, where we have identified 36 actually, not 46, 36 electrification points that are public in nature. These are schools, health centers, and community schools. And we are trying to see how, if we take electricity to those areas, for example, for pupils, they are now doing a lot of ICT courses, but they don't have the infrastructure to demonstrate the ICT. All they are doing is theory. So we are hoping that once electricity comes to most parts of Katua, then more especially to schools and health centers, then it is going to be a catalyst for development and increase the level of investment. Because many people, once you do the road, the Chinese actually were saying, take a road to an area, take electricity, then you'll have taken development. You investors will now go and put your own development there. Katua is an agricultural center. We do a lot of agriculture. we don't have so much commercial farming in Katua, but we have a lot of peasant and improved farming. And so you find that we need a lot of agricultural extension services. You know, animals sometimes die of corridor diseases, and so we need a lot of agricultural services from the government to provide those extension services for agriculture. Deeping issues, you know, prevention of diseases to animals, what type of crops to plant, gardening, and all those things. And so we believe that because we are near to Lusaka, once those services are there, a lot of people are going to venture into agriculture, more especially at improved level, and that is going to change the lifestyle of the people and the income levels of the people. We have actually an association, we formed a public-private partnership association, which is called the Katua Public-Private Partnership Association. Currently, it is being chaired by Mount Meru. Mount Meru, as you go to Katua towards the toll gate, there is a huge manufacturing plant on your right, and that is the chair currently of that association. It was purely my initiative to try and bring the private sector together, a coordinated approach of how we can deal with the private sector.
The Katua lawmaker is passionate about changing the lives of the people of Katua.
The word of encouragement for me is that Katua must be a little bit patient. The agenda, the real agenda for development has just started. We are, in terms of CDF, we are just months, not even a year. And in terms of government, we are just above a year. And when the CDF started coming, there was a lot of teething problems. And like any other good thing, there usually comes with a few challenges. We have learned the ropes. We have now a learning curve enough to implement. Like, for example, now, next month, we are starting to sit to plan for the CDF 2023. That is how much we want to be ahead of time. So a little bit of patience. Rome was not built in a day. The infrastructure was so dilapidated, it can be built in 1 month. But I can rest assure them that where the investment for CDF is going to go in the next 3 years, definitely they will see change. And that will be the basis for them to think whether I am a good captain to continue pardoning the ship, or I'm a wrong one for somebody else to come in. But it's all up to them when it reaches that point.
Mr. Justin Mafuta is a professional assistant for Katua constituency office.
Well, majorly, my major objective as a professional assistant is to facilitate the work of the Member of Parliament in the constituency. As you may be aware, the roles of the MP, one is to represent the people in the constituency. So my major role is to facilitate the work of the MP in the constituency.
Mr. Mafuta encourages Katua constituents to make use of the constituency office so as to improve the constituent-member relations.
The major reason why people should visit or come to their constituency is number one is to have an engagement with their lawmaker or their representative. There should be an interaction between the member who is the MP of the constituency as well as the constituents, in line to say, because as long as there's no dialogue between the MP as well as the constituents, tangible developments cannot be achieved. Also, one thing also I want to make mention, dialogue should be a two-way thing, in the sense that the constituents, they engage the MP because one of the major roles of the MP is to represent the people in the constituency. So once there is that engagement in terms of interaction, the MP picks everything that the people of the constituents have told him to go and request on behalf of the people to the executive, who is in this case the ruling. Also, this office acts as an information hub in the sense that once the MP gets information from the executive, he also conveys the message back to the people in terms of a policy direction from the government. So it has to be a two-way attire in terms of the interaction.
A constituency office is a goal of parliamentary improvement aimed at taking Parliament closer to the people.
Welcome, Lundazi Town Council. We'll start our meeting with introduction, starting with our permanent witnesses.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, honorable members of this committee. Good morning, CS and your team from Lundazi. From the Office of the Auditor General, my name is Marshal Gabriel. I'm the Acting Director. I will also request my colleagues to introduce themselves. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, everyone. My name is Best Chiala, an auditor. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Simon Munyama, Senior Planner, Office of the Auditor General.
Good morning. My name is Luvinda Sinyani from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Katulenda Matthews from the Office of the Controller of Internal Audit, Ministry of Finance and National Planning. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members of the committee, and good morning, Lundazi Council. My name is Oscar Nyarenda from the Office of the Accountant General, Ministry of Finance and National Planning.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and the Honorable Committee members. Lundazi, you are welcome. I'm Edwin Silwimba from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning, everyone. My name is Astemi Kalala from the Office of the Clerk.
Good morning, Emmanuel Walia from the Office of the Clerk.
Thank you. Council Secretary, you now introduce yourself and allow your delegation to equally do the same.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Chair and the honorable members. My names are Fula Mwasa Linus, Council Secretary Lundazi. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. My name is Monica Chishemba. I'm Director Finance.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. My name is Alice L.M. Chikondozi, Acting Director Human Resource and Administration.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. My name is Andrew Zulu. I'm the Director of Engineering.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. My name is Chiwesa Future, I'm the Director Planning. Thank you.
Council Secretary, I've noted that you've left your procurement officer and auditor. How do you account for them? Yes.
Thank you, Chair. The queries that are lined here, I think the team which have carried will be able to answer, Chair.
Okay, we shall see. Honorable members, may we introduce ourselves?
Chair, I'm grateful. I'm Singombe Edgar, representing the people of Dundumwezi in Kalomo. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, and once more I greet everyone. Lundazi Council, you are welcome to this committee. And the Chair, I want to say that this is the product of Mufumbwe. I can see two members from here. My name is Elliot Kamondo, as you may know me, a Member of Parliament for Mufumbwe, together with
I'll ask you a question at the end of the session about Mufumbwe. Honorable members on my right.
Chair, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Lundazi, you are welcome. Mutelo Mishek, MP for Mitete constituency in Mitete or of Mitete district. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Chair. Good morning, our permanent witnesses. Morning, Lundazi Town Council. Morning, fellow honorable members of Parliament. Morning, our viewers and the listeners out there. This is Luhamba Mwene, Member of Parliament for Mangango Constituency in Western Province, Kauma District. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable Nyambose. Okay, so my name is Christopher Shakafuswa. I'm a Member of Parliament for Mandevu. And Mandevu constituency is actually where you are. So I wish to welcome you to Mandevu and on behalf of the committee to the Local Government Accounts Committee. Before you make your presentation, I wish to confer you with immunity according to Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, which grants members of Parliament immunity against prosecution. And so, as you make your submissions here to help us come up with a report, you are granted that immunity, knowing too well that you will not mislead the committee. And if you do, the same Cap 12 can actually work against you. But it is of the view of the committee that you give us a true picture of your activities in Lundazi. Having said that, you may now proceed to make your submission.
Thank you, Chair. Specific audit findings: failure to collect revenue from sale of plots. Management response: management acknowledges the audit finding and wishes to report that an amount of 580,300 was not collected due to low demand on the offered plots. Management anticipation of the result because became different from what transpired on the grounds, that the offerees became hesitant to pay. The expectation then were high that the demand would be similar or outstrip a previous sale which was successful. Action taken: management wishes to report that the offerees have been served with enforcement and withdrawal letters. In addition, an amount of 66,300 has been collected, leaving a balance of 514,000 kwacha. Out of the remaining balance, 30 plots amounting to 240,000 were offered to the Drug Enforcement Commission. Reminders, Chair, have been served to Drug Enforcement Commission also. However, little commitment to settle the bills has been made. Management wishes to report that it had also provided access roads in the area as well as engaged the water and utility companies to ensure provision of water and electricity is done respectively. Remedial measures: there is an appendix 1 where we have made some attachments here. Remedial measures: management shall ensure it creates diversified portfolio of plots with minimum basic services. It signs engagements with the water and the electricity company to ensure provision of water and electricity supply is done. Part 3 on cross-cutting issues. Management acknowledges the audit finding and wishes to report that the variance of 2,271,707 kwacha was as a result of retention of 2 million kwacha at source, which was meant for the procurement of Constituency Development Fund monitoring vehicle and the constituency police vehicle, while the remaining 271,707 was as a result of some revenue sources that underperformed, such as fees and charges, and some that overperformed, such as levies and permits. In addition, the council received more funding on the grant in lieu of rates, as it had anticipated to implement the evaluation role during the period under review. And this chair cushioned the underperformance on the local government equalization fund. The unspent funds of 20,092,190 kwacha constituted an amount of 19,000 for constituency development, 19,000, 20,000, 85 kwacha constituency development fund, 932,887 for capital projects, 122,876.
Are you able to read the figures again?
Thank you. The unspent funds chair of 20,092,000 kwacha, 190 constituted an amount of 19,020,085 kwacha constituency development fund, 932,887 kwacha for capital projects, 122,876 kwacha for salaries and wages, and the balance of 16,342 were funds collected at the year end, which was in the general fund account. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the 2 million meant for the CDF monitoring and constituency police vehicle was utilized, and the vehicles have since been delivered to the constituency. In addition, as reported earlier, in respect of uncollected plot charges, the defaulting offerees have been served with enforcement and withdrawal letters. In respect of the unspent funds, management wishes to report that an accumulated total amount of 21,935,739.56 ingwe has been spent on the Constituency Development Fund, leaving a balance of 1,804,171,035 ingwe, and another cumulative amount of 1,608,755 kwacha has been spent on the capital projects in 2023. The amounts of 122,887 876 kwacha from salaries and wages, and 16,342 from general fund account were spent on the December 2022 salaries and wages, which were paid on the beginning at the beginning of January 2023. The appendix is attached on number 2. Then the remedial measures. Management wishes to report that it shall enhance adherence to the ministerial guidelines and timelines on projects implementation. It shall also endeavor to improve performance on the underperforming revenue sources such as plot charges through improved and innovative ways of planning and marketing. Still on cross-cutting issues, failure to update the evaluation row. Management acknowledges the audit finding and wishes to report that the valuation row for Lundazi Town Council has not been updated because it faced resistance from the community due to inadequate stakeholders sensitization. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the stakeholder engagements were conducted and an amicable solution was reached. Following the resolution on the matter, management wrote to the Ministry of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development through the Department of Valuation and Property Management, requesting them to recommend a valuation surveyor and restart the process. Chair, I wish to report that a favorable response was received to commence the update of the valuation row in 2024. Thus awaits the recommendation of a valuation surveyor to proceed as attached on Appendix 3, Chair. Remedial measures. Management wishes to report that the Council will endeavor to timely update the valuation row whenever it expires to enhance the revenue collection efficiency for the effectiveness of the operation of the institution. Thank you, Chair. Cross-cutting issues, failure to fill vacant position, cause of query. Management acknowledges the audit finding and wishes to report that the public relations officer was transferred by the Local Government Service Commission to Mpongwe Town Council in March 2023. The town planner was transferred to Chipata City Council in March 2023. The assistant land surveyor resigned in December 2022, and the station officer was transferred to Chama Council on promotion in October 2020, while positions for revenue collectors had been vacant for some time. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the position of the Deputy Council Secretary, Deputy Director of Works, Administrative Officer, Typist, Mechanic, Lead Firefighter and Firefighter Driver have since been filled. In addition, Chair, the 5 revenue collectors have been recruited, and as for the 4 remaining position required, the requests were sent to the Local Government Service Commission and now awaits response. Attached is the on Appendix 4. It's there. Remedial measures. Management wishes to report that it shall endeavor to report to the Commission the positions as and when they fall vacant. Cross-cutting issues, failure to settle statutory obligations. Management acknowledges the audit finding that an amount of 19,237,489 kwacha was outstanding. This is due to cash flow challenges being faced by the council because of the low revenue base. One of the major contributing factors is that the valuation row has not been updated in a long time. In addition, Chair, the creation of Chasef and Luwangazi district meant some revenue sources, loss of some revenue sources like farm produce were split among the 3 districts. Action taken. Management wishes to report that a total amount of 152,306 kwacha 68 ingwe was paid in respect of NAPSA, ZRA and Zulao. In addition, management signed the payment plan with LASIF to make deduction from the local government equalization fund at source for the current contributions and part of the outstanding bills on a monthly basis. This was in line with the debt equalization strategy by the government and an accumulated amount of
debt liquidation strategy. Yes, go on.
Thank you. 450 kwacha was paid to LASIF between January 2022 and December 2023. Further, the council signed the payment plan with ZRA and negotiations with NAPSA are currently underway on a flexible payment plan which has been made possible by the revised NAPSA Act. In an effort to broaden the revenue base, management is currently working on updating the valuation row, fish farming, construction of shops for rent, and facelifting of council commercial ventures as attached on Appendix 5. Remedial measures. Management wishes to report that it will endeavor to continue devising measures to liquidate the current and outstanding statutory bills. I submit, Chair.
Thank you so much, honorable members. Points of clarifications. Honorable Simumba, Honorable Singombe.
Chair, thank you very much. And Lundazi, you are most welcome. I'm Honorable Simumba Lucas, Member of Parliament for Nakonde. Chair, my point of clarification that I seek from the Council is on page 1. Chair, during this period under review, the Council offered 106 residential plots for sale. And they were expecting about 970,000 kwacha. They only managed to raise 389,700. Now, there are just 2 things that I would want to find out from the Council. On this table, on that table, Chair, there are about 40 by 50 plots which were advertised, 50 of them, 30 by 40 and 10 by 15. Now, when you look at the price per plot, 40 by 50, they are charging 10,000, which to them is high cost. Now, low cost, Chair, I don't know, maybe it's just my eyes. the low cost is more expensive than the high cost, which they were charging 12.5. I would want to find out if this is true, that in Lundazi the low cost should be more in terms of price than the high cost. Secondly, Chair, even when it is low cost, why should you measure plots 10 by 15? Surely, what is it that somebody can benefit from that size of a plot? Secondly, thirdly, on action taken, Chair, they have set aside 30 plots amounting to 240 offered to Drug Enforcement Commission. I wanted to find out, why have you just thought these 30 plots to offer DCE? Is DCE the only institution? DEC. DEC.
Yes.
Yes, DEC. Is it the only institution that is in Lundazi? Why haven't you also offered to other institutions? Why only DEC? Chair, I submit.
Honorable Singombe.
Chair, I'm very grateful. Allow me to put up a rider on the 30 plots which were offered to Drug Enforcement Commission, or DEC in short. You are saying that there is very little commitment to settle the bills. I wanted you to shed more light whether these plots were offered to officers from drug enforcement, or they were offered to an institution, like you've put it, DEC. I just want you to clear me. Now, if these plots were offered to DEC as an institution, and you have alluded to the fact that DEC seems not to be committed in settling down the bill, have you engaged the mother ministry about this? Because I'm sure they were offered because they applied. Now, why did they apply, or did they expect a free service coming from the local authority, which at the end of the day should provide services and goods to the people of Lundazi? So the question is, have you engaged the mother ministry? Thank you, Chair.
Okay, let them pick this. You can answer that set, then we'll pick more clarifications. Yes, Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. On the issue of the low cost, the price is correct. It is 12,500. Then the reason, the times that this one was offered and the low cost were offered are different. Then the other part is that the place where the low cost is, the low cost plots have been created is a prime area as compared to the other high cost, which are a distant from the township. Then on the issue of the plots under DEC applied, it's about how many? Applied for 30 plots that they were going to construct the institutional plots, but they have not since paid. We have tried to engage them. They are just promising, and recently they were promising that by last week they were saying they will pay, but it is not forthcoming. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Singombe.
Yes. Now it's clear that they want to construct institutional houses, and my question is, or was, did you engage the mother ministry, or we want to continue pushing a closed door? Why don't you engage the mother ministry so that if they're not ready, let these plots be revoked and be given to the would-be applicants, so that Lundazi can realize the resources that you need so much to provide services and goods to the people of Lundazi, rather than holding on to people who are not forthcoming. Have you engaged the ministry?
No, Chair, on that one we have not engaged the ministry. Thank you.
Before Honorable Sumumba comes in, I wanted to find out the low-cost plots 10 by 15 in Sunningdale. What does the Act say about the lowest plot you can create? Are these residential or commercial plots? What is the minimum standard plot that is allowed by the Regional Urban Planning Act?
Thank you, Chair. I will invite the Director Planning.
Yes, Director Planning.
Thank you so much, Chair. In terms of the size, I should state that I know it was captured 10 by 15 meters, but the sizes are slightly bigger than 10 by 15. They are somewhere 14 by 18. They are slightly bigger. Then in terms of the law, there is no specific size per se, but something that is ideal to construct a residential, a low-cost housing.
Honorable Simumba, Honorable
Chair, I'm still, because where I come from in Nakonde, when they say low cost, Chair, is low even in terms of prices. But in Lundazi, when they say low cost, it means where you are going to get the low cost is expensive more than the high cost. I want to be cleared. Why did you hike the price? Chair, just 10 by 15. They are charging a plot at 12,500. And the high cost, 40 by 50, 10,000. How? Even when they are saying where they have put the low cost is the prime area, then why should the prime become low cost? It's confusing, Chair, because the best we can do is these people who be buying low cost, it means they are unable to manage the high cost. But now you charge them 12.5. Does it mean in Lundazi those who stay in low cost have got more money than those who stays in high cost? I would want it to be cleared, Chair. I submit.
Honorable Mwanza and Honorable Singombe.
Thank you, Chair. I've seen you've written enforcement letters, notices to withdraw the allocated plots. There are 59 enforcement notices, and 20 of them are from Chipembele area, which is the high cost and the medium, and the balance is from the same Chipembele area. I haven't seen an enforcement letter from Sunningdale. The question is, these enforcement letters were only effected on 13th March. There are 20 of them that were effected on 13th March 2024. Just before coming for this audit. There are two dates actually. The one is on the 31st October 2023. The batch for 31st October 2023 is about maybe 39 letters. 20 letters are for 13th March 2024. My question on the date for enforcement letters is that have these letters been served to these would have been property owners, or they're just appearing for audit sake? 1. 2, DEC was offered 30 plots. Are the 30 plots coming from the 106 plots, or those that were unclaimed? Where is the source of these plots? Is it from the balance of 106 and 160, or it is from the list of the letters that you have written as enforcement letters? Thank you.
Honorable Simombe, you want to add on this?
Yeah, Chair, when you look at the low-cost houses, for me, I have no problem with the rate at which they are selling them. It could be the demand. Because when you look at even the number of plots, there are only 17. And when you see that the demand is too high, you may take advantage. But I'm just worried about the size, Chair. Surely 10 meters by 15, it's quite minute. Very, very minute. So, because we should also be mindful that where we are giving these plots, we should be creating beauty to our own residential areas. So putting up a 10 by 15 structure, and mind you, this is a plot now. When you're putting the actual house, it reduces. So the question is, what kind of rural residential area would you want to see as a local authority? Because I know Lundazi is still growing, and you should be mindful that other people are building these houses, Chair, for business. Which people would wish to go and stay in a house, probably, maybe which is 10 by 10 meters, not even 10 by 10, maybe 10 by 5 meters. What kind of a house, what kind of beauty are we trying to create for tomorrow?
Yes, Vice Chair, you'll be the first, the next set. Yes, yes.
Thank you, Chair. The low-cost housing, or the low-cost plots which we are talking about, the power is already there, and they are near to the water points, and the place is so marketable, as said. And all the plots where we can't see the enforcement, they are all gone. They have been gotten. Then on the issue of coming from the issued, the 30 plots, they are coming from the issued plots by the council that were issued to the DEC when they applied for the same.
The 106.
From the 106, yes. No. Then what else is remaining? The size.
It was the cost, the justification about the cost, although it's been answered by the honorable member.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. On the size, which one should we take? Is it the one you are submitting, or the one which is in the report? Director Planning.
Thank you so much, Chair. I know it was captured there as measured in 10 by 15, but they are 14 by 18 meters. They're slightly bigger. Sure.
So are you making an amendment?
An amendment, Chair.
And the amendment should read?
14 by 18 meters.
14 by 18. Honorable Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I came in a bit late. Maybe my colleagues would have queried on this one. But I just wanted to find out from Council Secretary over the issue of deck. I'm on page 2. The action taken that reminders have been served, however, little commitment to settle the bills have been made. From the reminders, I have a feeling, a very strong feeling, that they will probably not pay. And I know that obviously this is a part of government. DEC is under the Ministry of Home Affairs. And I do believe that government institutions do not work in silence. So, work in silence. So, my question would be, have you tried to engage the mother ministry, maybe try and do a debt swap or something like that? Because looking at this, you will find that this, obviously looking at the price, this is prime land. And obviously when you leave it like that, one, you will find after some time it will go into encroachment. And repossessing government from government, I don't think, Chair, that will happen. Not in the nearest. We have to be realistic. DEC is a government institution, and you as a council saying you're going to repossess the plots, it will not work. And obviously by the fact that they got 30 plots, they do understand that they need to build offices. So now we have CDF. So for me, what I need, I would, Chair, advise them, because we've seen government institutions have been owing ZESCO for a very long time. So if ZESCO will be on the verge of collapse, what they do is a debt swap. What services can be offered, etc., etc. Ministry of Home Affairs is huge. There are so many things that I think in terms of negotiations. Otherwise, believe you me, even next year you will come over this issue. They will not be able to pay. The closest or nearest is engaging the line ministry and see how this money can be settled in terms of goods and services. And then maybe engage CDF. Thank you.
Thank you. It's coming back. It was earlier asked by Honorable Singombe. Have you engaged the mother ministry? Honorable Dr. Mwanza, you are saying there's one question that was not answered?
Yes, about the dates. When they issued these enforcement letters, it's very suspicious, quite suspicious that it was almost 21 letters were issued on 13th of March of 2024.
Okay.
And yet the plots were offered I'm not so sure when the plots were offered, but the enforcement letters, is it just to prepare for this audit or not?
Okay. From the Vice Chair, the other part was advice. I hope you've taken the advice. Honorable Kamondo.
From the same issue about plots, I just wanted to have some clarity. On the action taken, management says they wish to report that it had also provided access roads in the area, as well as engaged the water and utility companies to ensure provision of water and electricity is done. So I would like to find out actually what is the status quo, the current status quo. Is it that these other provisions of access roads, water and maybe electricity, have they been done? In which areas? Is it the Chipembere high cost or Chipembere medium cost? Thank you.
I hope you've taken note of those three. The Honorable Mwanza's concern is you've just written these enforcement letters. Perhaps to add, have you saved the people that had applied? Yes, yes.
Thank you, Chair. I will invite the Director.
Director Planning.
Thank you so much, Chair. The letters, the ones that were written just recently in March, that's the final notice to now actually possess. If you look at the notice itself, it's also re-advertising the same plots to those that wish to actually access. So we did, this is the third one and the final notice that we've done, the most recent. Then
have these been acknowledged? Have you saved them?
the public notice was sent. Others are yet to collect. They are still collecting as it is. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. On the services, we started a program. I think we engaged the water utility company in terms of water provision, where we've done some sort of an MOU, and a council is using, we're taking advantage of the CDF. We're providing some resources, and they're also bringing on board the technical know-how to actually connect the various communities. So they started with where there is actually an existing community in Pamba, and there's another one, Garden area, which has been connected so far. So they are coming to Chipembere to connect as well very soon. Thank you so much.
The engagement with the mother ministry. Yes.
Yeah, the engagement of the mother ministry chair, we have taken note. We'll go that route. So.
Any more points of clarification, Honorable Singombe, Honorable Dr. Mansa?
Chair, thank you very much. I'm on failure to update the evaluation row on page 4. And the local authority is stating that management acknowledges the audit finding, which is to report that the evaluation row for Lundazi Town Council has not been updated because it faced resistance from the community due to inadequate stakeholder sensitization. Chair, you will agree with me that if you're not giving adequate services and goods to the people, they'll always resist. And this is one kind of a situation that I see, because we seem to have a situation, Chair, where a lot of local authorities exist for themselves or for the officers in that particular area, rather than existing to uplift the standards of the people in the jurisdiction where they operate from. And here is a very clear scenario where they are saying that the community resisted. My question to you, CS, is what have you done? Because truly speaking, you need these resources. You need these resources, and the people should see where the resources are going. If you plant a plant and then you don't water it, definitely it will wither and die at the end of the day. So what the communities are looking forward to is to see that their taxes are being plowed back into their lives, improving them. So is there anything, CS, that you are doing to ensure that when you engage the communities, they'll be able to agree with you? Because for me, I feel you need the resources to uplift their lives. So are you engaging them to explain to them why you needed this variation row to be upgraded or to be updated?
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Manza. Is it on the same? Honorable Mtelo?
It's a blunt one, simple. Why are they resisting? You've heard that says, yes, they are resisting. Where is the resistance coming from? Why?
Okay. Additionally, the Ministry of Infrastructure wrote to you that they will give you a surveyor in January. The first quarter is gone. We're now in the second quarter. Have you written to them to make a follow-up on the surveyor? Yes, yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. The engagement has continued with the stakeholders, showing them the little that we can do, the collection of garbage and the other services that we can provide if the evaluation row is to be updated to We have been engaging them, and after the engagement, that's when we reached a consensus with the community that if you bring now, we will not resist, because we understand what we have, our obligation, and how to move. Then the other thing, Chair, that I would say is the length of time that it took for it to be updated. It was so lengthy such that people had even forgotten about the payment. Then again reminding them, it was like a restarting. So that is what we are doing. We are trying by all means to show that we do our best with the little resources that we have, so that the people can see. The engagement is ongoing, and we are hoping we are joined by all stakeholders should be engaged, so that we can be successful from the political side, the civic leaders, and everyone. I think that is where the challenge is. Then on the issue where we have been communicating with the evaluation office, and they indicated that they were having challenges when they are funded. Then they will send the valuer.
Honorable Dr. Mwanza, the last question as we wind up.
Thank you, Chair. On page 2, budget income and expenditure. There's an amount of 2,271,707 kwacha appearing as variance. And your explanation is that the 2 million was deducted at source for CDF vehicles, police and the constituency vehicle, whereas the remaining 271,707 was as a result of some revenue sources that underperformed, such as fees and charges, and some that overperformed, such as levies and permits. From these 271,707, why should some revenue source that has overperformed appear as a variance? Then second one is what proportion of the 271,707 is monies for those revenue sources that underperformed? Thank you.
The 2 million, not 2. You got the question? Yes, yes.
Thank you, Chair. I would invite the Director of Finance to answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chair. So maybe, Chair, I would like maybe to take us to Appendix 2, where the table is explaining the variance itself, how it came about.
You concentrate on only the fees and charges. The component under CDF, we dealt with it already.
Sure, Chair. So the 2 million, as maybe I'll go straight to the grand total, which is the 2,271,707. So it is coming about as a result of these breakdowns that we have seen from the local taxes, the fees and charges, the licenses, these breakdowns. So when we look at these amounts, some of the revenue sources or revenue items or lines where they underperformed, others overperformed. So the 2 million, the variance in question, is as a result of the offset in the balances or amounts of the revenues themselves as they were received.
The question, Chair, was you have 4 out of that table as having done well, but the way they are coming out there, you've put yourself on a negative. Why Have you lumped everything together? Meanwhile, you have positives. Why is Africa, Zambia, and Lundazi associated with failure? Why do we just want to be looked at? No, we are not doing well. Even where you are doing well. That was the question, madam. We've seen the table. I'll repeat. Why do you love just to be associated with failure, even where you've done well?
Yes.
Director of Finance, complete.
Chair, I've taken note of the observation. Maybe it was the way the explanation should have come out, because we thought bringing out the explanation of all these revenue items one by one maybe would also bring a lot of confusion. That's why we just indicated that some line items overperformed, others underperformed, thereby bringing in this offset and the subsequent variance of 2 million.
Lundazi Town Council, we want to thank you for your appearance. I hope you've taken note of the few issues, especially with the last one. I think make sure that you just do a table that shows the true picture. Where you perform better, show that you performed well. Where you didn't perform well, show the committee so that we see where the problem is and we interrogate what could be the possible solution. The other issue is your mode of engagement with the number one DEC and the Ministry of Infrastructure. Town Clerk, let us make sure that we continue engaging our stakeholders officially. That way you'll be able to track the communication process, and unlike where you are engaging them informally, you will find that you are not making any progress. If you are going to engage your stakeholders formally, you have where to start from in terms of if you have to proceed even to engage other stakeholders. Otherwise, we want to thank you for making an appearance. We wish you a safe trip back to Lundazi. Continue providing services to our good people there. And please, the issue of creating 14 by 18 plots, we need to do away with this. In Lusaka and peri-urban areas, we are grappling with issues of cholera, partly because of the creation of such plots. That gem for cholera is able to travel 28 meters before it dies, and so it's recommended at least a minimum plot should be 30 by 30. And there is a provision under the Urban Regional Planning Act on what the minimum plot should be. Kindly acquaint, I've just forgotten, but kindly acquaint yourselves with that. Let us do away with creating small plots. The beauty is compromised. We wish to take back our immunity. You may go safely. Thank you. Welcome, Luwangazi Town Council, to your Committee on Local Government Accounts. We'll start our meeting with introduction, starting with our permanent witness.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Chairperson. Good afternoon, honorable members of this committee. Good afternoon, CS and your team from the Office of the Auditor General. My name is Michelle Gabriel, the Acting Director. I've got a team who I will request to introduce themselves. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Best Chiala, an auditor from Office of the Auditor General. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Simon Munyama, Senior Planner, Office of the Auditor General.
Good afternoon. My name is Lundazi from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Katua from the Office of the Controller of Internal Audit, Ministry of Finance and National Planning. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair, and honorable members of the committee, and good afternoon, Luwangazi. My name is Oscar Nyarenda from the Office of the Accountant General, Ministry of Finance and National Planning.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and the Honorable Committee members. Luwangazi, you are welcome. I'm Edwin Silwimba from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of the committee. Good afternoon, Luwangazi Town Council. My name is Vilenga Bright from the Office of the Clerk.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Statutory from the Office of the Clerk.
Good afternoon, Emmanuel Walia from the Office of the Clerk.
Luwangazi Town Council. CS, you may introduce yourself. Allow your delegation to equally do so.
Thank you very much, Chair. My full name is Amabuto Masie. I'm Council Secretary for Luwangazi Town Council. With me, I think the other members will introduce themselves.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Brian Impanza, Assistant Director of Engineering, Luwangazi Town Council. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of the committee and officials from the Ministry of Finance and the Auditor General. My full name is Aspaloka Yama. I'm the Council Treasurer.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Paul Msalo, Deputy Council Secretary, Luwangazi.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Awiza Jose. I'm the Internal Auditor for Luwangazi Town Council.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Wezi Piri, District Planning Officer, Luwangazi.
Thank you. Honorable members, starting with Honorable Singombe.
Chair, I'm grateful and good afternoon, Luwangazi Town Council. I'm Singombe Edgar, representing the people of Dundumwezi in Kalomo, Southern Province. You are welcome to your committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon. Good afternoon, our permanent witnesses. Luwangazi Council, you are most welcome. My name is Honorable Kambamba Mlenga, a Member of Parliament for the good people of Kalulushi, and I am also Vice Chairperson of the committee. You are most welcome.
And good afternoon, Luwangazi Council. My name is Elliot Kamondo. I'm Member of Parliament from Mfumbwe constituency. You are welcome to this committee.
Good afternoon, Chair and permanent witnesses. Welcome, Sanzala, to your committee. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Area Member of Parliament for Kaumwe constituency, Petoge district. Thank you so much.
Chair, thank you so much. And Luwangazi, you are welcome to your committee. Mutelo Mishek, MP for Mitete, and a member to this committee. And happy birthday to whomsoever was born today.
Thank you so much, Chair. Good afternoon, Luwangazi. This is Ruhamba Mwene, Member of Parliament for Mangango constituency. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Christopher Shakafuswa. I'm Member of Parliament for Mandevu. Here where you are, I'm the landlord of Parliament. So I wish to welcome you on behalf of the committee, and which has allowed me to chair this session through the Vice Chair who is here. I count it as a privilege. And so before you make your submissions, I want to confer you with immunity according to Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, which grants immunity to members of Parliament against prosecution for what they say while in Parliament. This means that the information you give to this committee cannot be used against you in any court of law as long as it's factual. And contrary, if you mislead or give false information to this committee, Cap 12 can work against you. It is my belief and that of the committee that you would not willfully mislead this committee. And so I wish to call upon you to make your submissions.
Thank you very much, Chair. Our first query is on missing receipt book leaflets. Management response. Cause of query. The Council management acknowledges the auditor findings with regret and wishes to state that the receipt book in question was issued to one of our revenue collectors in August 2022. It, however, only came to our attention of management through the internal audit and the officers who had collected the receipt book, where they discovered that as a head of department of accounts, discovered that there was a missing document.
CS, can you read what is in the report?
Okay. The receipt books were asked. Let me come again. It, however, only came to the attention of management through the internal audit report and the officers who had collected the receipt books were asked to do a formal report to the head of accounting department. It must be noted that during the year under review, the council had only one safe, which was not sufficient to secure all accountable documents and other valuables. It was difficult to secure our accountable documents, especially that all accounting officers were operating in one office due to lack of office accommodation. The officer who had the receipt in question which went missing was interrogated and denied to be responsible for the plucked receipt.
CS, again, I ask you to read what is in the report, unless we have two different reports.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe
you
should
start where the officer who had custody of the receipt book.
Okay.
With serial
Chair,
numbers.
There are some inclusions, some corrections.
You should have made those corrections so that we move together. Because
sorry for that.
Yeah, you can't be reading something else and we have something else. With that, can I allow you to make your amendments?
On the first page, with the statement, the line that is starting with all our accountable, in between accountable and especially, there should be an insertion of documents.
Yes.
Yes. Then on the second but last line, where there is the statement is ending with the responsible, we should add 4, and then the have should be cancelled and should read having plucked. Having plucked. On the same page, Chair, on the last paragraph, where it starts with the public, it says the public were also notified, not noticed. It should be notified. The public were also notified. And then after the second line where it says involved, the B should be deleted. For now, I think those are the only corrections that I can submit.
Yes, you may continue. You were reading the officer who had custody of the receipt book.
Yes. The officer who had custody of the receipt book, where the receipts were of serial number 1622-987 and 1622-989 went missing, was interrogated and denied being responsible for having plucked the receipts from the book. There's an appendices that of the letter that was written to the officer, which is Appendix A. Action taken. Management managed to retrieve the receipt number, and it was verified by the external auditors during the audit verification at the status report stage. The matter of the other receipts was further escalated and reported to police for further investigation, and during the investigation the officer was implicated in another case which costed him his job. The officer was dismissed. The public was also notified of the missing receipts and that the officer involved is no longer an employee of Luwangazi Town Council. There's also an appendices to this.
Before you proceed, I think we may need to do an amendment because we're dealing with the receipt numbers here. So if you look at your action taken report, the receipt number that you have just read here and this first serial number on top there are different. The last 2 digits, committee take note, it's 87 and 37. Yes, yes. Oh, there is no amendment.
On the statement of the query, we have just stated the series in which these receipts are.
Okay, proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Remedial measures. Management has secured more safes from the strong room from Ministry of Finance to ensure that the officers are having custody of accountable documents are provided with secure storage.
Yes. Proceed to
the next query is unutilized block making machine. Management response. Management acknowledges the findings of the auditor with regret and appreciates the recommendation to ensure that the block making machine is utilized. However, the delay was attributed to the following. There was a change in the initial plan to run I beg your pardon, Chair. There is a change. Instead of rain, it should be run.
It's fine.
R-U-N.
Let's go. Let's proceed.
And the block marking machine under a private company registered in the name of the council. This was after the council resolution on the 23rd of June 2023 to form a company to run the council commercial ventures, including the block making machine on its behalf. The rationale of operating the business as a private entity was to allow the business to compete favorable with other companies in the same sector. There's an appendices attached. The other contributing factor is the delay by ZESCO to connect power to the premises where the machine should have been operating, where they have hindered progress. We have already paid to ZESCO, and I think there is some evidence that has been attached. Action taken. Management has registered the company in the name of Msanzala Investment Limited, and its operational management has applied to ZESCO to connect the premises with power, and the council has financed the initial operational capital to the company to start trading. The remedial measure, management will ensure that there won't be any delay in the implementation of the approved projects, as everything will be put in place before proposing for a new project. Chair, proceeding to the cross-cutting issues. The budget, income and expenditure. Management response, cause of query. The management acknowledges the auditor's findings and further reports that the balance of 19,222,732, which remained unspent as at 31st December 2022, was attributed to the delay in the receiving of the 2022 CDF guidelines as per earlier submission on the CDF audit memoranda. On the parts of revenue, the adverse variance of 2,281,348 kwacha, as analyzed on the table, was as a result of the following. A, on-source revenue target of 100% could not be achieved due to unresolved land disputes with the settlers who were displaced as late approval of variation law, which only received the final, which was received in the final quarter of the year. Then B, the 125,223 was deducted at the source from the local government equalization fund for payment on behalf of the council to Zulao, Lasif, and for audit fees. C, the variance of 2 million was withheld by the ministry for the procurement of the CDF vehicle and the police vehicle. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the settlers were engaged with the involvement of all stakeholders and their concerns have been addressed. However, the council has reduced its dependence on revenue from developmental charges due to slow response of the public. The remedial measure, management will endeavor to be realistic when coming up with the annual estimates to avoid the pitfalls of under-collection of revenue. Chair, can I proceed to the next?
Yes, please.
Failure to establish a waste disposal site. Management response. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings on the failure to establish the waste disposal site within the township boundary. However, we wish to submit that despite the council's effort to service the plots within the approved district township layout plan, there are some no economic activities carried out within the township. This entails that even the amount of waste being generated by a few households who are settled within the township are still managed by using available methods of managing waste. The current means of waste disposal is on-site method of disposal in designated pits. Action taken. Management wishes to submit that the processes to have the designated waste disposal site are underway, and we are hoping to have a well-established dumping site by the time the township will have some minimum development activities within the district. We have resolved the issue with the satellite settlers over the township boundary and are currently looking for suitable place to redesignate our dumping site. We have also heightened the sensitization of the communities to ensure that members of the public are aware of better waste management environmental practices. Remedial measure. Management will enhance the process of establishing the disposal site together with other social amenities to abate the environmental degradation. We will also continue to sensitize the community to uphold key national programs such as the Make Zambia Clean, Green and Healthy campaign in the district. We have come up with a draft solid waste management plan to run for 5 years, and solid waste management policy is in place. The plan clearly states how we will manage the waste that is generated in the district. I proceed to the next query.
Yes.
Failure to settle outstanding statutory obligations. Management response. Management acknowledges the auditor's observations and further wish to report that failure to settle outstanding debt of 3,153,125 is due to inadequate revenue. The monthly income earned by the council is not even enough to meet inescapable expenses such as salaries and councillors' monthly allowances. The outstanding amounts include the accrued penalties for failure to settle the current contributions to ZRA and NAPSA. Action taken. Out of the 3,153,125 owed at the time of the audit has been reduced by 450,885.29 ngwe, which has been waived by NAPSA after meeting the set requirements, and brings the date to 2,702 kwacha 239,000 702 and 239.71 ngwe. Management will also endeavor to pay all its statutory contributions on a monthly basis, except for ZRA and ZRA pay as you earn, which we only manage to pay part payments due to inadequate resources. See Appendices 4. Remedial measure. Management will continue to expand its revenue source so that accrued debt can be settled. We will also endeavor to continue complying with the submission of monthly returns to avoid penalties related to late submission of returns. I wish to submit my clarification to the cited queries and assurance to the committee that the remedial measures to the queries for Luwangazi Town Council shall be adhered to. I beg to submit, Chair.
Thank you so much. I will now invite points of clarifications, starting with the Honorable Singombe, then Honorable Mtelo.
Chair, I'm very grateful. CS, we go to page 7, failure to settle outstanding statutory obligations. In your submission, you've indicated that you owe, or the outstanding statutory obligations is 3.1 million plus. And you have indicated that the local authority is unable to pay off this amount because of its inadequate revenue. I wanted to know how much is your monthly revenues, and you have also indicated that you are even unable to sustain salaries coupled with councillors' allowances. What is your monthly wage bill?
Honorable Mtelo.
Friendly question.
CS, you may respond to the. I may respond to Honorable Singombe. You can ask your DF to take the question if he has the information.
Thank you, Chair. I'll ask the indulgence of my treasurer, because there have just been adjustments in the salary, so I might not be accurate.
Yes, Treasurer.
Thank you very much, Chair. Our monthly income, including the local government equalization fund, this time it is at 770,000. Then the monthly collections from that is per month. Then the monthly collections which we are able to collect, it's just about 20,000 somewhere there on a monthly basis. That makes it still less than 800,000 per month. Now the wage bill as it stands, it's at 650,000. Yes, 650,000.
Yes, please go ahead.
Will I be wrong to suggest that Luwangazi was created to create employment for yourselves but not for the services of the people? Because out of the 800, 650 is going into salaries, meaning you have less than 100,000 to provide services and goods. Will I be wrong to suggest that Luwangazi actually is created to create employment for yourselves?
Yes, Town Clerk.
Chair, maybe that would be the position, but I think there's still a service that we are providing. to the residents. It might not be adequate, but we are providing a service.
You have increased CDF. I thought you'd refer to that as well, through the services that you are providing through the increased CDF.
Exactly, Chair. With the local resources, we might not be doing much, but with the coming of the CDF on board, I think we are doing a lot in terms of even youth empowerment and the other empowerments that we are undertaking.
Honorable Mtelo.
Just a quicker one. Your mic, sir. So imagine if the CDF was not there. What else were you going to do as Luwangazi to enhance your local generated resources? That is the purpose as to why local authorities are created. What other plans are there to increase on the 20,000 kwacha?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. That's why we thought of some business ventures like the one which is queried, the block making machine, so that the council can be raising some revenue. Although it's a private company, but it will be contributing to the council coffers.
Good. Chair, thank you so much. And that could now trigger the questions. Is it not that's why you have missing receipt books? Missing receipt books. It's not the receipt books that are being missed, Chair. It's the money. The chairperson on page 1 tried to help to say the number, the serial number 1622822987 is not in tandem, is not correlating with 16222937. You insisted no. So tell us. Then it was first, according to this, captured by the internal auditor. Where is the internal auditor? Thank you so much. But why did it take so long that it had to take the external auditors? Why is it appearing here? Because it should have ended amongst yourselves. Why? And this is where the money is going. Not that there are no resources in Luwangazi. The resources are going where the receipt books, the missing ones. That's where the resources are going. But tell us, he tried. I was trying to say, Chair, leave it, they will clarify. Now you clarify. 16222937, 1622987289. Which receipt book is missing?
Yes,
Maybe I can ask the indulgence of my treasurer.
Council Treasurer.
Thank you very much, Chair. Actually, the query is about the one single receipt which were plucked from the booklet. So the query here, as indicated by the report by the auditor, of which we could not change, it's showing the series, meaning this receipt book, there are two receipt books which were involved. There was a receipt book which is ranging from 1622,900 to 1622,950. So that's where that other receipt was plucked from. So the other one, it was 1622,951 to 1623,100. That is the one which the other two receipts were plucked from. So the actual receipts, as indicated by the auditor, there were 3 receipts which were removed from a book. So they are falling from those, that range on top there. Yes, then the issue of, as we indicated, the other one was found. I think that was verified as we indicated in our submission. But the 2, those are the ones which were saying the officer, actually even the time the auditors came, we had already started the investigations. And the issue, before it could be arrested, I think the officer will realize that he had erred and he was disciplined. This time is no longer in employment.
Yes, thank you, the chairperson. So the retrieved one is the one ending with a 37.
Yes, Chair.
And the 2 from 987 to 989, those are the ones missing.
Yes, Chair.
Oh, then we agree. But which ones were found by the internal auditor?
The same receipts that were picked by the external auditors are the ones that...
internal.
The same ones that were picked by...
You can switch on your mic. Switch on your mic. Yes?
The same receipt numbers. Earlier on, they were picked by our internal auditor, but we could not resolve because they were not found at that time. So we couldn't resolve the matter until the external auditors picked it also. So we couldn't resolve the matter until the receipts were found. That's when the matter could have been resolved. But like the treasurer has ably said, we took a further step of reporting the matter to police for the police to help us investigation. And in the process, the gentleman who had this system was flushed out of the system.
Through you. So now you are agreeing with your committee to say Luwangazi has the resources, but some officers willfully would do not only pluck the leaves, but in plucking the leaves, so that the money, CS, is not known. And that, I will leave it to the chairperson.
Honorable Mtelo, can you finish? And Honorable Mwanza, Honorable Singombe.
As he is going to come, because through the revenues, I'm now going to the block making.
It's another one.
Yes.
Okay, so Honorable Singombe.
Question. I wanted to know how were those plucked receipts?
Yes.
Chair, we wouldn't know because unless we got hold of those receipts, then we would know how much somebody claimed on those receipts.
Yes, on the same matter? Yes, Honorable Commander.
Just a point of clarification, because we have heard other people, they will just get the receipt and they start eating. Now, this is a very interesting scenario. The letter which came from Museko Weluzani, the person under discussion, I just wanted to know, maybe the committee may also wish to know. The last paragraph, someone wrote this letter, and then he says, "Sir, I admit to pay the full amount of money which was involved in my matter." Did this person pay the money? And if he paid, how much was that which he paid? Did he receive 2 punishments or he paid the money? Maybe that's when now the commission started to determine his case. How did it happen?
Yes.
The gentleman paid the money and he lost his job.
How much?
How much was paid?
How much?
Chair, it was 8,361 kwacha 86 ngwe.
On how many leaves?
On one leaf.
One leaf, you see. So now you are telling us, sorry, Chair, you are telling us your monthly income is how much? 20,000. How do we believe that? One leaf, 80,000. So if he also paid, or he or she relieved because of the other matters, not on this one, where is the human resource? Yes. No wonder that question came. Or it was the local service commission. He paid.
You can conclude your question.
He paid.
What is your question, Honorable Mteno?
After paying, why? But my main is, here is one leaf, 8,000 kwacha. Then you come and tell your committee, per month, 20,000. How possible is that?
Yes, yes.
Chair, we are taking all precautions to secure the little revenue that we have. That's why we even took up this. Apart from maybe this development, we do, every time we are collecting revenue, we do build up a database so that we precisely know where we are supposed to get the money from. That's why we are indicating that Luwangazi revenue base is not something to talk home about, because we have the data. Every time we are going in the field to collect information, to collect the money, we are not just collecting the money, we are also compiling the data of our would-be clients. This particular transaction was on the grain levy. That's where the gentleman had gone to one of our clients and gotten the money and issued one of the bogus receipts. I beg to submit, Chair.
Honorable Dr. Manza.
Thank you, Chair. We go to page 2. The unutilized block making machine. Chair, Luwangazi, with a view of increasing the revenue base, they procured a block making machine. This block making machine was procured at 298,000 kwacha. And it has never worked. It is non-functional for more than a year. Government, local authority decided to register a company, a so-called a private company, to run their business ventures. The company is called Msanzala Investment Limited. When I look at the registration certificates, which is on Appendix 2 of this Msanzala Investment Company, Msanzala Investment Limited, the shareholders are the council employees. Actually, the company secretary is the treasurer. And after I peruse through the minutes as to the decision to open this company, which is same Appendix 2, the second page of the minutes, they said that it was therefore requested that a company be registered with Luwangazi Town Council to have 99% controlling interest, and the remaining 1% to hold by the office of the council secretary, which means the shareholding is 99% Luwangazi Council and 1% council secretary office. And the directors, non-directors are Paul Masala, Deputy Council Secretary, District Planning Officer, and so on. So all only council office officials in their private capacity, but in their title, appearing as under Msanzala Investment Limited. If you check further, the certificate of share capital, which is I think the fifth page on Appendix 2, the shareholding shares, the shareholding is not stated. It just says this is to certify that Msanzala Investment Limited has a nominal capital of 15,000 divided into 15 ordinary shares. The shareholding capital is not indicated. My questions are: what motivated the council to procure a 298,000 block making machine, which is electrical powered, and yet you know for sure there is no ZESCO connection to make the block making machine immediately functional? So what motivated the council to procure a machine that would sit idle at such a cost? Why didn't you go even for a manual block making machine? The second question is, this company, Msanzala Investment Limited, the shareholders or the controllers who will be operating this company are council employees. And even the articles of association is actually not attached here. Now, council employees can be transferred, or they can resign. Now, what happens to the operations and the control of this Msanzala Investment Limited company when one of the shareholders is not at Msanzala station? The third one, you are indicating from your minutes to say a private company. The idea was very good when I see it, to say a private company was supposed to be incorporated so that it runs to compete and run the business ventures, commercial business ventures of the council. And yet you go and register a company that is full of council employees. What motivation will this new Msanzala Limited company have to compete favorably with the society? Because the idea here, we were saying a private company. Because I was expecting a private company to enter into some memorandum of understanding with council to run your business ventures, such as a block making machine. So in this case, what new initiatives will this council management bring on the table that will make the commercial business ventures of the council to flourish? I think maybe there are so many questions, but you can...
let him take those for now, because I know even you will give him 4 or 8. So, yes.
Thank you, Chair. I think one of the issues that motivated us to come up with that company, we are trying to avoid using, council employees to be actually in the production, because those have got a condition of service and their stipulated salaries, and it will be costly for us to be paying the workers at the unionized, salaries. So we thought if it was a company that is independent from the local authority, then they would come up with the salary structures on their own, and that would help the company break even the investment after some time. The issue of power, Luwangazi has got power. It's connected to the national grid, so we knew that it was just a matter of time. What has just delayed us is the procedures by ZESCO. The building is supposed to have a 3-phase. So the line that is adjacent to the building is not a 3-phase line. So the upgrading that we have already paid the cost. Thank you, Chair. The other?
Is it on the same?
The other question maybe can be taken by the Treasurer.
Yes, Council Treasurer.
Thank you very much, Chair. We really appreciate your concerns, and we indeed are happy that you are very much concerned about Luwangazi. Just as you alluded to, Chair, that you really are happy about the decision to come up with a company. Already explained that, we are trying to see how we can try to contribute to the revenue. As we have seen that we have a very thin revenue base in the district because of the few economic activities. So the question to say that why did we register the council employees as directors, and also I think there was another question to say why did we also include the office of the council secretary to be also part of the shareholder. I think that was also hinted by your committee chair. As you know that when you are registering a company, there are rules which should be followed. I think we are advised by the registrar for society, companies, PACRA, to say that you can't just register a company as one individual. So it has to be at least a minimum of 2 individuals. So to satisfy the conditions, we had to include the office of the council, not as an individual, but the office. I think in the articles of association, there's a provision to say, if we, for instance, here today we have the council secretary by the name of Mr. Mavuto Masie. If he goes, he has to transfer the shares to the other council secretary who is there, and that's just the office. For the directors, chair, also, it's by virtue of our positions, not as an individual as Kayama Sparo, no. It's my position as a council treasurer for Luwangazi. Immediately I ceased to be council treasurer for Luwangazi, I also ceased to be a director for the company. So that I think is also very, very clear in the articles of association, and also the provision that there's a form which we need to fill in to transfer the shares, the responsibility to the other treasurer who is going to come, or the other director of finance who is going to come. Is going to be the member. Chair, we have gotten the question of the committee. For real, we should not just be the directors by the councils, because that company, it is going to serve the interests of the people of Luwangazi. As time goes on, actually, we are going to incorporate other people from Luwangazi. I think that is allowed in the Companies Act. Yeah. For now, we didn't want to incorporate them because we are still starting. If we are to bring other people where we are not even reaping anything for now, I think it may derail our development. So, but once it is firmly established, we are going to incorporate other people so that they help us to even bring in new ideas, just as your committee has concerned. I submit, Chair.
Honorable Mutelo.
Chair, thank you so much.
Bullet question.
Bullet question. Budget and income table. You have it in Luwangazi as well, eh? Where you have local taxes, fees, levies, licenses, permits, and there is one component. The one other component is known as commercial ventures. Almost all local authorities have that part. But I've never heard of Kalomo, Lusaka, Achoma, on the part of commercial ventures forming private what? Companies. I've never. They run guest houses, they run bars. How do they run such places? Is it by registering a private company? I'm a layman. We've just started with Chipata in the morning. They are renovating there. Is it guest houses or hotels? Under commercial venture. This part in Luwangazi, it doesn't work. Block making machine, you are not the first ones. Chair, Mushindamo. We had Mushindamo here. They equally venturing in this, but they have not made a private company. Teach me. How come in Luwangazi you've decided to do such a thing? Meanwhile, on your budget and income, that summary, the commercial venture is there. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Mwanza.
Based on the CS explanation, is explaining that this company is not going to use unionized workers. The idea is to have people who have their own salary structure, and that's the way that they can show competence to society. But looking at the formation of the company, it will be the council that will be operating this company, because you have the company secretary, the directors have got clearance that it is an office, it's not an individual. So the operation costs, employing people to mold those bricks, blocks and everything, it is the council employees. It is the council management that will be spending. So that is why I said, why couldn't it have been easy? It could have been easy just to strike a memorandum of understanding between a registered company, which is already registered, private company. That's as you put it here, to say private company. That private company has a memorandum of understanding to say, you have a block making machine as a council, and I'm going to run this industry, and the shares will be like this, and so on and so forth. But you opted to, now going back to my honorable colleague's question, that the councils have had a lot of other business ventures. So when I look at your registration, nature of business on Appendix 2, the nature of business that Msanzala Investment Limited is going to do is only manufacture of articles of concrete, cement and plaster. Whereas there are other businesses like restaurants and mobile food services, construction of buildings and so on and so forth. So in future, when you open a bar and restaurant at Msanzala, at Luwangazi, would you have to open another company? Because the business scope of this Msanzala is only block making, which is clearly stated in Appendix 2. You only ticked yes on the last row. So any other commercial business venture that you open in future, you have to register another company. Thank you.
Chair, Bullet, who is the owner of the machine? Is it the company or the local authority?
Yes.
The company belongs to the local authority. It's not private as per se. The company
it's a
will be
special purpose vehicle.
Yeah. I'm aware of Lusaka City Council. It has a company. Lusaka Clothing Factory is a company for Lusaka City Council. So I think if we were trying to look at trying to take away the local authority from the running the affairs of the day-to-day of the company, in order for it to be, treated as a business venture, but in a private arrangement, but wholly, owned by the local authority. If you look at the percentage of the shares, it's 99% owned by the council.
It's actually 100% owned by the council, but because of the minimum requirements, you've put the office of the town clerk to own 1 share. So the only advice that I would give you is that in your minutes, you put names of directors instead of their positions. So you may need to amend this because when you put names, when they move, in line and to be consistent with your submission, those directors remain as directors, but in this particular case you had put names, so this one you may need to attend to it. Otherwise we want to appreciate you for your appearance, and when you disturb the chair's thinking. As you get back, Musanzala, we understand you are a new town council which was recently created. You have so many things to do in terms of revenue streams. A local authority can create a lot of revenue streams by its nature of operations. You need to come up with markets and bus stations. People will pay fees and charges. You provide facilities for early childhood. That is your duty. I saw, due to time, you are meandering in providing a dump site. This is your obligation. This must be done. Okay, I've seen you saying no, the current way of doing things. No, the council must establish a dump site before you have a huge population. So you have an opportunity to plan. Don't be like, I don't want to mention names of some other cities. Up to now, they don't have a dump site. And their population are too huge. And this is why we have issues like cholera and other diseases which can be avoided. But if you are going to plan now, you'll be providing a service at the same time earning revenue for your operations of the council. I know you are supposed to do an abattoir and many other services that the councils provide. That way you find that even your revenue stream will go up as you provide services to the people. We wish to take back our immunity. May you go back safely to Luwangazi. Thank you so much. Do you have a council graveyard? Honorable.
kanugu utokalume yake mwana wangu utokalume yake mwana ufuna kuyenda yenda mwana wangu akama motoka mwana wangu matupangalala mwana wangu amai kumukosha mwana wangu okuya mwana wangu nikuya kwakwe ni mwana wangu akweni wangu wewe akweni wangu ni mwana wangu wewe ni wani bai moluba eleta mwana wangu eleta nyama pasondo eleta mwana wangu mukuti pumuseka nguku zonse zati kuti kokokoko mwana wangu mbuze kuti ha 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 mwana wangu na umanzi pakuti kapa kapa mwana wangu pakuti kapa kapa na uzu kuti wayu wayu mwana wangu kiti pakuti ngau ngau mwana wangu kufuma kutao ni mwana wangu vipolobodo mwana wangu kunibomola mwana wangu kuni saladi mwana wangu umakeke mwana wangu kuni vinyama mwana wangu kuni shuga mwana wangu kuni bata mwana wangu maipa utokela mwana wao yewila pamwadu mwana wangu upangatia maipa keshuga ni mwana wangu akati mkoni omoti ano vina vina maipa living kalenganda mwana wangu living kalenganda mwana wangu nosemi salati kundio kaloni yose ni mwana wangu chinji chiri kumata mai ini keke mai mwei mukumbwa mbili mwana wangu wila hula mai chitakuwesa mwana wangu dalani kwino mai panja pale batu mai wakata kwa kwanza mwana unaula pakusi mai pakumbwa kuwa makeki pakumbwa kunyeleza keki penjuni wangu mwana wangu penjuni wangu mwana wangu penjuni patanga mwana wangu ngandangu chema mwana wangu ngandangu tali mwana wangu ngandangu tali mwana wangu penjuni galikiti mwana wangu penjuni galikiti mwana wangu chinchi tenge mwana wangu chinchi tenge mwana wangu chinchi tenge mwana wangu kashinchi tenge mwana wangu living kalenganda mwana living kalenganda 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 ni mwana wangu vipolobodo mwana wangu kunibomola mwana wangu kuni saladi mwana wangu makeke mwana wangu kuni vinyama mwana wangu kuni shuka mwana wangu kuni bata mwana wangu wafuma kutao ni mwana wangu vipolobodo mwana wangu kuni bomola mwana wangu kuni saladi mwana wangu wafuma kutao ni mwana wangu vipolobodo mwana wangu kuni bomola mwana wangu kuni saladi.
One night I'm dreaming, I'm feeling my life. I wanna hold on to the sound, make love to the sun. I'm so glad you're around. This time I'm floating, I'm soaring up high. Little bird, don't fly, come on, let's get high. I'm so glad you're around. What a feeling. Little bird, don't fly, come on, let's get high. I'm so glad you're around.
Come.
What a feeling. Little bird, don't fly, come on, let's get high. I'm so glad you're around. The little girl is lonely, she got no one to love her, with no one to hug and no one to hold, but she wearing a smile. The old man is singing, singing This tune is so wise, I'm feeling the nice, I'm so glad you're around. And what a feeling. Little bird, don't fly, come on, let's get high, I'm so glad you're around. And what a feeling. Little bird, don't fly, come on, let's get high, I'm so glad you're
running.
around.
Yeah, lifting.
What a feeling. Little bird, don't fly, come on, let's get high, I'm so glad you're around. What a feeling. Little bird, don't fly, come on, let's get high, I'm so glad you're around. What a feeling. Little bird, don't fly, come on, let's get high, I'm so glad you're around. Little bird, don't fly, come on, let's get high, I'm so glad you're around.